Wreck-It Ralph 2, aka Ralph Breaks the Internet, is out today, and oh boy were there a ton of Easter eggs in this film. I mean, what do you expect when an entire film is based inside the internet? From famous faces to famous websites to Disney princesses, here are all the little details you missed with our list of the top 10 Easter eggs you missed in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Before we jump in though, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and leave us a comment down below on whether or not you were a fan of Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'll be reading out a few of my favorites in the next video. Okay. Let's break the internet. In at 10, Heyong Man. Okay, so this Easter egg requires a lot of explaining. So in 2015, Jason Mantzoukas and Scott Ackerman hosted an episode of the comedy Bang Bang podcast. In the episode, Mantzoukas says, "Hang on man," and Ackerman hears it as Heyong Man. Haha, very funny, right? Well, it has since become a running joke on Comedy Bang Bang, even resulting in the merchandise for the popular phrase. So how does this relate to Wreck-It Ralph? Well, there was a scene where Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel of course, is talking to a character voiced by Mantzoukas. It's a very short interaction and it isn't until the credits that we find out what the character was actually called. Can you guess? Yep, it was Heyong Man. Classic. In at 9, Michael Giacchino. This is a fun little full circle moment we have at this number. Michael Giacchino, the composer of films such as Up, Jurassic World, and Spider-Man Homecoming, also did the composition for Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Neat little tidbit of info there. What makes this really cool is that Michael voices a stormtrooper who chases after Penelope, voiced by Sarah Silverman in Wreck-It Ralph 2, thus bringing everything full circle for the composer. In at 8, famous faces. Now, there are a lot of famous faces in Wreck-It Ralph 2, and I mean a lot, so I'm going to highlight a few of the ones you probably missed and where you can find them. Okay, to start, we have Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik, Pac-Man, Colleen Ballinger, Iron Man, Carl Fredricksen, Kermit the Frog, Mickey Mouse, Cap, Shield, Wood, and Buzz, to name a few. You can catch a lot of these folks near the Disney animation portion of the internet, and the famous influencers on YouTube, of course. There are so many more, so it feels less like an Easter egg and more of a fact, but I'm sure there are quite a few that you didn't catch. In at 7, eBay. Now this is a short but sweet little Easter egg that if you blink, you're very likely to miss. As you would expect, Ralph Breaks the Internet includes a lot of advertisements for some of our favourite and highly used websites, including YouTube Red, TripAdvisor, and even eBay. Which, speaking of, in the film Ralph and Penelope spot an auction taking place. For what exactly? For Genie's magic lamp from Aladdin, going for a very humble price of $30. In at 6, Moana. At one point in the film we see a little girl playing on a tablet in a car, and oh boy does she look awfully similar to the young Disney princess. That's right, this little girl could be young Moana's twin. The voice actor of Moana even voiced the tablet playing child, but it is unconfirmed if the character itself is Moana or just bears a striking resemblance. Considering Moana also exists in the internet alongside her other princess comrades, I find it highly unlikely that this is also supposed to be Moana, but with Disney you just never know. In at 5, Happy Birthday. Jumping all the way back to the first movie, outside of the Litwax Family Fun Center and arcade, you can find a billboard that reads, "Happy 5th Birthday Svizzy." Great name, solid stuff. Ralph Breaks the Internet takes place 6 years after the events of the first film, so if you return to said billboard, you can now find an updated sign that reads, "Happy 11th Birthday Svizzy." I'm pleased to see that the I in birthday is still missing and that the name is just as confusing as ever. In at 4, the Red Scare. At one point in the film we get a glimpse into Walter's office, and behind him is a very ominous arcade game called the Red Scare. Now the Red Scare is in fact a term coined in the early 1950s to describe the hysteria surrounding the threat posed by communists in the United States. Red being the nickname given to the communists and their allegiance to the red Soviet flag. Walt Disney himself was quoted as saying there was no communist influence in Hollywood, so perhaps this little Easter egg is a reference to that. In at 3, Disney princesses. This is a very nifty Easter egg for you Disney lovers out there. As many of you will know, almost all of Disney's iconic princesses make an appearance in Wreck-It Ralph 2, including Belle, Cinderella, Jasmine, Mulan, Moana, Elsa, and many more. And lucky for us, almost all of the voice actors returned to play their original roles. However, sadly the actress who voiced Snow White died in 1997, so co-writer of Ralph Breaks the Internet, Pamela Ribon, stepped up to fill her shoes. However, more interestingly though, in this scene Jasmine is clinging onto the magic lamp that once contained the genie. So why is the lamp later up for auction over on eBay? Perhaps a knockoff, or maybe something went on behind closed doors that we missed. In it too, Star Wars. There are a ton of Star Wars cameos, appearances, and references in this film, and fans are loving it. Not only do we have an intense chase scene between a group of stormtroopers and Vanellope, but you can also catch a glimpse of a Darth Vader statue in the background. Sadly, a joke that we all would have appreciated was acts from the movie, that being a joke about Kylo Ren being a spoiled child. However, the top dogs over at Lucasfilm weren't a fan, and thus it didn't make the cut. Sad, but it's also very true. And finally, in at number 1, Stan Lee. This one is very bittersweet. As we all know, on November 12th of this year, the comic legend Stan Lee passed away, leaving behind a gaping hole in the comic book world. Sadly, he also missed the sweet tribute for him planted in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Of course, aside from being known for his prolific work on comics, Stan Lee has also made a name for himself by making cameos in almost all of Marvel's superhero movies. From Captain America to Iron Man to the Avengers, you will always catch a quick glimpse of Stan. So while being chased by stormtroopers, Vanellope bumps into one of the many Nintendo figures. However, this avatar was designed to look like Stan Lee. It's very sweet. Well, there we have it guys. Did you spot any of these Easter eggs? Were there some that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to read out a few comments on one of our last videos. Creepy video game Easter eggs. Blinder140 said, if you distort and slow motion the sound of the head crab, you can hear, "Help, somebody help, help please." That's horrifying and actually really sad. Stephen Blurry said, I quit watching Top 10 Gaming a while ago cause all the Sonic. I just returned to check out what's up, and although I miss Kelly, this Lucy girl. Who's Kelly? But also thank you. We're very pleased you're back, and Kelly is here, creeping around somewhere, as usual. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another gaming vid. And until next time, see you later.